20 years since we were introduced to Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, and as a self-proclaimed Disney adult, I thought it was only right for me to try and get my hands on the Black Pearl. Back in 2011, LEGO released a Black Pearl set for $100 US, and unfortunately for me at the time when I asked my mum, she said no. And these days in 2024, a sealed copy of that set is going to set you back $1,200 US. But I want to try and get that set on a budget. But my goal is not only to find the Black Pearl, but have a completed version with all of the minifigures, including the stunning and hideously expensive Davy Jones. Luckily for me, Pirates of the Caribbean was one of my favorite themes as a kid, and even though I stupidly sold off all of my original sets, I still have a couple of the minifigures. Firstly, we have Captain Jack and Captain Jack. Technically, neither of these are the one in the Black Pearl, but if we take the hairpiece off this one and then put it on this one, we have the version from the Black Pearl. So that's one down. And then a couple of months ago, I picked up Joshua Me Gibbs because I was ordering a bunch of pieces. I figured since I was already paying for shipping, I might as well get him too. So with those two minifigures down, that only leaves me with 5 different minifigures that I need to find. Bootstrap Bill, Will Turner, Macus the Shark, Davy Jones, and of course the Black Pearl itself. And I think my best bet at finding all of these in one place is going to be at the world's largest LEGO convention in Chicago.
The main way to purchase at a convention is through the different vendors who often have a large range available, but because of their high overhead costs, you can end up paying a lot more. There are a couple of benefits here though, like being able to inspect the figure in person and not having to worry about shipping costs. But outside of that, there's really only one other shopping opportunity: the yard sale. The yard sale by far is the most coveted event at the convention and is where attendees try to get rid of some of the things that they own and sell those items at usually very good prices. Everyone's trying to haggle and scout the best deals out before somebody else does, and it's a little bit of a bloodbath. And to add to that, for the first time this year, they're spreading out when people can actually enter, and those entry times are being raffled off. However, I want to hedge my bets that I'll get a good entry time for the yard sale and try my best to find everything I need there, so if I fail, I'm likely in big trouble.
Whilst hunting for LEGO might be fun though, if you want an easier way to buy new or retired LEGO or just track your collection in general, I would check out today's sponsor, Bricked. Bricked is a free app all about your LEGO collection, and it has helped me so much when I'm out and about to make sure that I'm not purchasing things that I already own, as well as making sure that I'm getting a good deal and not being ripped off by vendors. Since downloading it, I've been using it to track my LEGO collection, occasionally check set prices, and also double check which minifigures I'm still missing from the Pearl. And since the app is about the LEGO community, you can also make posts with photos and videos and share them with your friends and followers. But one of the coolest features in my eyes is the ability to actually update and add your own mocks to the database. They also recently added a discussion tab, which is really good for keeping up to date with the LEGO news. And if you want to support the app even further, they have a premium option which includes things like advanced filtering. You can also upload more photos and videos in your build note posts. You can get price alerts, and most excitingly, you get access to all of the new features before everyone else. But with that being said, Bricked is free to download if you're looking for a really easy tool to manage and organize your LEGO collection. And if you're interested in purchasing the premium features, you can use code HollyOnFilm to get your first month free. Side note too, if you want to check out my collection on there, you can follow me at HollyOnFilm, so I look forward to seeing you there. The convention is in full swing and the hunt has begun. However, I've done myself a massive disservice by allowing myself to get distracted by custom items.
Oh, add that to my pile.
Though at every vendor booth I stopped at, my friend Sans and I checked for battle droids for him and Pirates figures for me. And one of the major issues I very quickly ran into was the fact that Pirates of the Caribbean is much harder to come across than your older Star Wars or Harry Potter figures are.
We're currently at one vendor stand asking for extra battle droids because there's only a couple here. You know, we're getting somewhere, but not incredibly far.
As back in 2011, people weren't buying as much LEGO, let alone buying stuff to resell the way it is now, meaning despite the huge demand for Pirates of the Caribbean, the actual stock of the sets and figures are far more limited than any army buildable battle droid, for instance. Despite this though, I powered on and I found a handful of characters at various booths, but the prices were too much for me to justify. As in a few short hours, the yard sale begins. At 8:45 p.m, it was time for me to enter the yard sale, and with my cash in hand, I started to scout the hall like a hawk.
Problem, I left my wallet in the hall after I'd entered the yard sale.
I spotted a few figures at one table, but I didn't want to spend too much time trying to haggle just yet, and it was a good thing I didn't because I may have just hit the jackpot. I found a black pearl box, and it turns out the specific version had had the bags resealed. So I asked the seller what the go was, and he said that the minifigures had been removed and kept everything resealed and just hasn't touched it since. But it was at this point that I had just frozen. I tried to haggle down, but he would not budge, and I also knew that it was going to go if I walked away from this. So I stood at this table for about half an hour, tossing and turning whether or not this is my moment and if I should take it. I couldn't let that set out of my sight, and I actually ended up purchasing it for $250.
I bought a black pearl, build only, new sales, no minifigures.
With the pearl safe in my hands, I needed to get serious about the minifigures and ended up going back to the table I saw when I walked in.
Quick little yard sale update. I have also now bought Will Turner for $10, $5 off, cash. I'll take it.
So the good news is I own the black pearl, but the bad news is I still don't have all of the minifigures. So I figured for my final day at Brickworld, I should probably go around trying to find Bootstrap Bill and Marcus, and maybe even complete the Flying Dutchman crew with Hedis if I'm lucky. I'm pretty sure I said his name wrong. However, since it's Sunday, there is a very high chance that the vendors have probably sold the minifigures, or they're just priced too high that I'm just not willing to buy them. But not only that, the convention hall is only open until 3 p.m, so we'll see how this goes.
There is 1 hour until this entire show closes and everyone packs down and leave, and I still haven't bought either one of these figures, and I quite frankly don't know at this point if I'm even going to get them here just because of the sheer pricing and lack of availability. I've already spotted a Jack Sparrow, but he is not exactly what I'm after. I've already got a ton of them. I don't really need any more. Given with how they're grouped, I don't think they've got any. Next booth. So there's like 3 more booths left that we can hit. Some of them are quite big, so I'm hoping that we've got a good chance. However, one of them is known for having incredibly expensive prices. I bought something from this store a couple of years ago and it was pretty reasonably priced. However, these days, not so much. However, they do have some pretty rare things. Already, I have spotted Davy Jones, as well as the little shell guy whose name I can't remember. 125 for Marcus. Absolutely not. They've got quite a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean minifigures, but I am absolutely not paying these prices. Davy Jones alone is $100 more than other vendors. All right, let's try somewhere else. We're running out of vendors. I'm getting quite desperate and probably willing to pay more than I should for these minifigures, considering I don't want to pay shipping. There's another cabinet, so I'm going to check in here first. However, most of this seems to just be Star Wars right now. I can't see any Pirates of the Caribbean minifigures. I know that they came in 2011, but I figured there would be a little bit more around the convention than what I'm seeing. I really didn't think it would be this hard to find 2 minifigures, and I'm getting a little bit stressed about it, and I really feel like I probably shouldn't be, but the fact that I can see these minifigures in person and actually inspect them and look at them and not pay shipping for them, that is a massive incentive for me to pay vendor pricing at this point. It's now less than an hour until Brickworld Chicago closes, and I really want to get this all wrapped up so that as soon as 3 o'clock hits, I can start dismantling my builds and put them away. Given that he's a rare minifigure, I have a feeling he's going to be in these little booths, if anything. So far, no hammerhead sharks. Oh, there is a Bootstrap Bill though, finally. Bootstrap Bill. And he is, oof, 25. I mean, I'm going to be ballsy and say 15.
Oh, I can't do that.
Oh, I didn't even spot him. Yes, I was looking at Marcus because these are the 2 I need left to complete my black pearl. Oof, this one's 70. Because I've seen him around at other booths for 60.
What do you got? 2? We got 70 and 25.
Anyway.
So we are at 95, 85.
Friends and family discount 80.
85.
80.
85. All right, I'll do it.
Hey.
Did you let her break you down?
Thank you to Alpine.
Give me a high five.
I'll take it. Thank you to Alpine Brick Exchange for this great deal.
By some miracle, I not only managed to pick up the Black Pearl, but managed to grab Will Turner, Bootstrap Bill, Macus, and as a bonus, Barbosa, all from the same LEGO convention. But what about Davy Jones? Well, I may have been a little bit sneaky and deceptive because I've had him this entire time. I found him for $150 at Atlanta BrickCon last year, and I am so glad that I got him when I did. And owning him was actually the inspiration behind completing this whole project. So with getting him for $150, Will for $10, Bootstrap and Macus for $80, and the Pearl for $250, that makes my total $490 US. That is over 50% cheaper than a sealed copy and about $100 cheaper than a used one. So now I'm just hoping that this set is as complete as I was told, or at least not missing any major or expensive pieces.